Hi, and welcome to the channel. This is Cooking Keto Style, and I am Tessa.
I'm Jason.
Today we are making a cheesecake, and the cheesecake is going to have a special crust, and this special crust is made with none other than pork rinds. I love pork rinds, so a lot of my recipes revolve around using pork rinds because there are 0 carbs in pork rinds. So a lot less carbs than there are in almond flour or in coconut flour. We got the 0 carb. All right, let's get started. Make sure you preheat your oven to 350. We are going to get started with making our pork rind crust. First, you will need a bowl. You're going to need about 2 ounces of pork rinds, and I have crushed these pork rinds myself. You can also buy already crushed pork rinds. So your pork rinds. To the pork rinds, you are going to add half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and I am just using this cinnamon I got at not Publix, but I got it at Kroger. Yeah, but you can also get cinnamon at Publix or Walmart or wherever you do your shopping. I am using half a teaspoon. That's going to go in with my pork rinds. Then I am going to add about 2 tablespoons of sweetener, and I am using this Swerve granular. You can use whatever sweetener that you have. So 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. We are going to give that a quick mix and get all those dry ingredients incorporated. To the dry ingredients, you are going to need about a tablespoon. I think I actually have a tablespoon and a half of melted butter. You will pour that butter into the pork rind mixture. Let's see, and you are going to stir all that up. Until it resembles a coarse meal, kind of like what graham cracker crumb would look like. Get all that mixed in. All right. Oh, look, I'm making a mess. We are making a mess, but that's okay because baking is supposed to be fun and messy, and the messier it is, the better your food's going to taste, right? Right. So let me set that aside really quickly because we need to prepare our pan. So I just have a regular round cake pan. I cannot find my springform pan, but ideally you're going to want to use a springform pan. But we just got to use what we have. I'm going to ball up my parchment paper, and I'm going to line my pan with parchments. And this is actually optional. I just find it easier to get the cheesecake out of the pan when I line it. It's not perfect, but I'm not perfect. All right, so now we have our pan lined with our parchment. We are going to take our pork rind mixture and we're going to press it into the bottom. Maybe I can get it all out. I want to press it into the bottom of our parchment lined round pan. You could also use a square pan if you really wanted to make cheesecake squares. It's up to you. You make it however you want to make it. We're just pressing it. Nice and neatly. I'm not going to go up the sides of my cake pan. I'm just going to keep everything on the bottom. All right. We are going to put this in the oven for a few minutes, probably about 10 minutes. Get the rest of that off. I do have clean fingers, by the way. Make sure you wash your hands before cooking. All right. I think I got that in. So I'm just going to quickly put that in the oven for about 10 minutes. And while this is baking, we will get started with our filling. For the filling, you will need 2 blocks of cream cheese, and I am using this Philadelphia. This is actually the 1/3 less fat cream cheese. Or you could use full fat cream cheese if you wanted to. You will need 2 blocks of that. So here is my first block. Right in the bowl. Plop. And my second block. If I can get it open. Going right into the bowl. And we're going to make it go plop. We are going to beat those 2 blocks of cream cheese until they are nice and smooth. And I am just using a hand mixer. You could also use a stand mixer if you had a stand mixer. I don't know if you would be able to do it by hand because it would be pretty tough to mix it up by hand. Just use a mixer. A mixer would be a lot easier. Just make sure your cream cheese is softened. To the cream cheese, we are going to add a 1/2 cup of sour cream, and I am using this Daisy brand sour cream. I have some already portioned out, so I'm going to put that right in there. And we are going to hold on to that spatula just in case we need it. All right, and we are going to add 3 eggs. 1, 2, 3. We are going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and this is my homemade vanilla extract. It's just in a mason jar. There's lots of vanilla beans in here, so I have to get to the vanilla part. So there's 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then we are going to add about 3/4 of a cup of our sweetener. And again, I am using Swerve. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, the Swerve granular. So 3/4 of a cup of that. So there's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. We are going to just mix that up until it's nice and smooth and well combined. I'm going to take my spatula and kind of beat the sides down, or, press the sides down. That way all that gets mixed in there. Some of it's sticking to the bottom of the bowl. Which is why your cream cheese should be fairly softened before you start mixing. See if I can get it off this. I want all that yummy mixture. All right. All right, let me take my spatula again and run it around the sides. Make sure everything is mixed in. All right, let's just move the mixer out of the way. Now, once you have your filling, you are going to take your crust that you have baked. And I actually took my crust out a little bit early. I took mine out at about 6 minutes. So you just want to watch your crust to make sure it doesn't get over baked. So you're going to take your mixture, pour it in to your pan on top of your crust. Look at that. Look at all that yummy, yummy cream cheese mixture. All right, and you are going to put that in the oven for about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. I would check it at about an hour. If it's still kind of jiggly in the middle, then I would put it back in. Just don't over bake it. All right, it is ready for the oven. All right, so I made a boo-boo. I left my cheesecake in the oven for way too long, and you can see it got really, really brown. This is why it's so important to check your food as it is baking, because some ovens have a different temperature than other ovens. And, well, we are going to attempt to fix this. So we're going to try to take this top layer off. Of course, we can use different things to cover the top. Maybe some strawberries or a layer of whipped cream. But just let you know, things like this happen, and it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. Let's see what we can do with this. So what I've been trying to do is peel this top layer off, and some of it's really easy to peel off. You just peel off the black parts, dark brown parts. Use just a serrated knife, trying to get underneath there. It's like there's a little air bubble in there that the knife gets under really, really easily. So we're just going to peel that off. And this is still okay because I'm just going to cover the top of the cheesecake with a strawberry. Decided to do a strawberry topping. We're just going to use some, I have a bag of frozen strawberries. I'm going to mash those up, add a little bit of keto-friendly sweetener like Swerve or allulose, and maybe just a tiny bit of gelatin powder to help firm that topping up. And once we get all these overcooked parts off, we can put that topping over the rest of the cheesecake, and it should just hide all these overcooked pieces. Some of these edge pieces are a little bit harder to get off, but it's okay. It's okay. Just take your time. We can get that piece off. All right, so we're just going to kind of smooth it up around the edges. Might not look as pretty, but I'm sure it's going to taste delicious. And that is the main thing here, is whether or not it tastes good. Not whether or not it looks picture perfect, because obviously this does not look picture perfect. And that is okay too. I don't think families are going to care whether or not it's picture perfect. All right. We've got most of it scraped off. Knife a little bit, just kind of scrape off some more of those overcooked spots. Especially the darker. I want to make sure all the dark pieces are peeled off. All right. So our next focus would be just making a topping to put on this cheesecake. We got most of it. That's pretty good. Not perfect, but it'll be okay. You can always put it on a cleaner plate too to get all these crumbs off. All right, so we will now figure out what kind of strawberry topping we're going to put on the top. All right, see you in a bit. We are going to make the strawberry topping for our cheesecake to hide the boo-boo that I did. So I have a bag of frozen strawberries. This is 1 pound. We're going to add that to our saucepan if I can figure out how to tear it open. There we go. So 1 bag of frozen strawberries. You could also use fresh strawberries, but I chose frozen. We're going to turn the pot on. We're going to heat those up. Get it going. All right, our strawberries have thawed out and they have softened up. So now I'm just kind of gently breaking them up into smaller pieces. I am just using a rubber spatula because I do not want to damage my pot with the metal utensil since it is a nonstick pot. But you could also use a potato masher or anything you want to use to kind of mash up your strawberries. But this seems to be working out just fine. They're pretty soft. Let's turn that heat off. Alright. I like a little bit bigger chunks anyway. It doesn't have to be like super tiny. When you have the chunks, it gives more of a bite into your, when you bite into your cheesecake. Alright. To the strawberry mixture, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of, this is powdered Lakanto sweetener. It's a blend of monk fruit and erythritol. And since strawberries are sweet anyway, I'm going to add about 1/4. This is 1/2 cup. I used half of this, so about 1/4 or 1/4 of a cup of sweetener. If you like your things sweeter, then of course feel free to add more sweetener. But I don't like super sweet things. Let's see if we can get that off the spatula here. We're just going to mix that in. We're also going to add 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice, and this is just bottled lemon juice. Feel free to use fresh squeezed lemon juice if you have some lemons on hand, but I did not have some lemons on hand. I'm using 1/2 of my teaspoon. That's going to go in. Set that to the side. Well, there's still some sweetener. There's still sweetener on it. Okay, let's see if we can get that mixed in. Lastly, we are going to bloom some gelatin. So I have a bag of beef gelatin powder. It is unflavored. I'm going to add about a tablespoon, give or take, to a small dish, and I'm going to bloom that with about 2 tablespoons of water. Get that mixed in. So that will bloom our gelatin. That way we can pour it into our strawberry mixture. And this will help the strawberry mixture set or thicken up. You can also use xanthan gum if you have xanthan gum and you'd rather use that as a thickener, but I prefer to use gelatin because I like mine to be more gel-like of a consistency. So we're just going to add that straight in because the hot strawberries will melt our gelatin. That way we can get all that stirred in. Let's just set that to the side there. We're just going to mix. See how it melts in nicely. As this cools, it will start to thicken even more. And this will be the topping for the cheesecake. That way we can hide some of those imperfections. My boo-boos. And there's our strawberry mixture. All right. When it cools and thickens, we can put that on top of our cheesecake. So I made our strawberries and it has been sitting, thickening for a while now. And I think it's ready. We're going to put it on our cheesecake. I'm just going to pour it on. And it does. It hides some of the stuff pretty well. It'll continue to thicken in the refrigerator. Look at that. Yeah, it does. It does hide my boo-boo. My mistake. See, things can be fixed. It's not a big deal at all. A little bit more strawberry. Nice. Look at that. And there's our strawberry cheesecake. Kind of let it run down the sides a little bit. Yeah, have like a strawberry glaze there. Okay. Just a little bit. There we go. And there is our yummy, delicious looking strawberry cheesecake. You can see we have our cheesecake here and we are ready for our taste test. So we're just going to cut a small piece. Nice. Oh, it's pretty thick too. Just a small piece. Got my cute little piggy plate. And I'm going to gently lift that out. Woo! And look at that. Beautiful piece of cheesecake right there. And you can see that crust. Remember we used pork rinds for it? Got the strawberries on top. And then the nice cheesecake filling layer. All right. Ready to taste? I'll let you go. Oh, I didn't get it all.
Somebody doesn't like cheesecake, that's really good.
He is really not a fan of cheesecake. But this is pretty good. Very good. The strawberry is really good too.
Really, really good.
If I can get it. No. So good. Yeah, even with the pork rind crust, you really can't tell it's pork rind.
No,
It's more like
it is definitely cheesecake, but it's a lot better store-bought cheesecake.
and a lot healthier too. Very much healthier. There's no sugar except for maybe the sugar that is naturally in strawberries, but there is no added sugar in here. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy making it if you decide to make it. Bye, guys.